Hey you guys, JoAnn's fabric is in serious trouble. Again. Bankruptcy, 500 stores shutting down, thousands of employees facing layoffs, and now in a shocking twist, you guys. So a partnership led by Great American Group has won the bid for JoAnn's assets in a court-ordered auction. So what does this mean for the future of JoAnn's fabric, you may ask? Is this the beginning of the end or a new era? Let's go ahead and dive right on into all of this unfolded drama that just happened within the last 48 hours. Let's go ahead and get into it. So for decades, JoAnn's Fabrics has been the go-to for most of us sewers, quilters, and crafters everywhere. But now they're collapsing under financial pressure. And honestly, we should have seen this coming, like I said back in 2022 when I showed pictures of me scrolling through JoAnn's and stores had empty shelves and stuff like that. And you guys was like, no, this is just a rebrand. I was like, no, it looks like a going out of business. So I knew. But you guys were like on the top, like, no, girl, this is just them rebranded into the JoAnn. That never happened. But let's break down exactly what's happening and why JoAnn's restructuring plan looks more like a golden parachute for executives and disasters for us customers.
Message.
So, just this year, just about a month ago, JoAnn's officially filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy for the second time in a year. Their goal? Restructure the business. Keep select stores open, which they decided to announce about a week and a half ago that they were going to be closing 500 stores. 533 to be exact. I did a video for it. If you missed that video, I'll go ahead and post it here so you're able to see that. And somehow they wanted to salvage what's left of the 800 stores, which was, once again, 167. They wanted to salvage, okay? Keep that in mind. But let's be real. When a company is shutting down over 500 stores, while its top executives are making millions of dollars. Let me rephrase that again. Millions of freaking dollars. You know, you have to wonder who's this restructuring is really benefiting, okay? Keep going, girl. And with 500 stores closing, thousands of employees losing their jobs, and customers left scrambling for alternatives, the real question isn't just what happened, it's who's making money off this bankruptcy. That's what the heck we need to be talking about it. So I'm going to go ahead and let's be real. JoAnn has been making some, of course, questionable business decisions for quite some time, all right? All right. And the biggest culprit, insane pricing. Have you ever walked into JoAnn's and felt like you were just being scammed all over again, even during the sales? Like just last week, we were looking at sales for 20% to 60%. Like, let's be real. The holiday sales is talking about like you should be putting on Halloween stuff for 90% off, but yet they were like 40% off, 60% off. Christmas was like 70% off. Like some was 40% off. That's not a damn sale, but you get my drift. So yeah. You're not imagining it whatsoever. JoAnn's inflates their prices, then offers huge discounts that still leave you paying way more than you would be paying if you just go online. And customers like us finally caught on, right? So the inflation of prices, which I showed you and I told you guys about it, and they put a nice lovely 20% off, 30% off, 40% off. Like, where are the 50 to 80% off sales? If you're really closing your doors mid-March, okay? Let me continue. So with the rise of online shopping, more and more stores like us decided to ditch JoAnn's. And they did that for better prices and a wider selection elsewhere. So why pay double the amount in stores when you can get it cheaper online? Save your gas, save those tolls. If you pay tolls like myself, you'll be saving some tolls, you'll be saving some gas, and you'll save yourself the stress of being in a long ass line, okay? Like, let's just be real, all right? And let's not forget their awful in-store experiences. Like I said, you guys know I went through JoAnn's and we've seen messy freaking aisles, missing patterns. I'm talking about, when I'm talking about missing patterns, I'm talking about the pattern is not in the envelope. Like, baby, what's going on? And those horrendous long checkout lines for sure. People just literally got fed up. We fed up. We don't want to be waiting all day for you to have one checkout employee and you have 50 people in the store. Like, JoAnn's, what was you thinking? And now, JoAnn's is paying the price for all of this. Like, literally, okay? Literally. So let's talk about who's really getting paid, okay? This is the, oh my gosh, Rochelle, why didn't you tell us this? Because I'm just finding out with you guys, because y'all know I read the news. But here's where things get really, really shady. Since y'all like to call me shady, this is where I'm going to actually call a name, because somebody was like, if you gonna say that somebody's being shady, you need to speak up and call the name. This is where I'm going to be calling a name on purpose, because this is actually news that you can look up yourself, okay? So while 500 JoAnn stores are closing, and while employees are being laid off, and while you are left wondering where to buy your fabric, which we'll talk about that in an upcoming video, JoAnn's hired corporate restructuring consultants from Alvarez and Marcel to fix the company, okay? And guess what? They are making bank. And when I say they are making bank, let's talk about $225,000 a month for CEO and $150,000 a month for CFO. You heard me right. I didn't say $225 an hour. I didn't say $150 per hour. I know it's Sunday and I don't want to preach to you, but I have to preach to you. And this is how I'm going to get my words out. I wish I was sitting in front of you so you could see my face right now, but it's it's really early in the morning and we ain't got time for that. We do have time to get this out though. These aren't long-time JoAnn's employees, okay? They're trying to turn the company around. They're not employees. They're outside consultants charging ridiculous, outrageous fees. So the interim CEO is making $225K per month. If you multiply that in a year, that's $2.7 million a year. Now, let's be real. Is JoAnn staying around for a whole freaking year? Absolutely not. But he could take this $225K that he's making this month. Come on now, he already a millionaire. Now let's talk about the interim CFO, which stands for Chief Financial Officer, okay? I didn't tell y'all what CEO stands for, but if you don't know what CEO stands for, it's Chief Executive Officer, okay? So the CFO is pulling in $150,000 per month. You heard me right. If you multiply that by a year, it's $1.8 million a year. So while JoAnn's is closing stores, slashing inventory, and letting employees go, these consultants are walking away with millions. I can't emphasize millions enough, okay?
Message!
They're walking away with millions, all right? And meanwhile, longtime employees who dedicated years to this company, I ran into one when I was doing a stroll. She's been there 16 years. She only had 4 more years until she retired, right? But guess what? She's been left in the dust. Now, this isn't a restructuring plan. This is a classic corporate cash grab, okay? Like, literally a cash grab. All right, and now, so let's talk about Great American Group or GA Group, whatever you want to call it, which is an auction company, okay? So here's the latest twist that I know. So the partnership led by the Great American Group, they have won the bid for JoAnn's assets in a court-ordered auction. And this means JoAnn's future is now in the hands of that liquidation company. So what does this mean for you? You may ask, like, Rochelle, what the hell does this mean? Tell me, girl, you speaking a lot, but speaking a little. And I'm going to speak a lot, but speak a little all at the same time because more information is coming out every single week. That's why I'm bringing it to you, all right? So brace yourself for clearance chaos. I said this last week and I'm saying it again this week. So with 500 stores closing, expect massive markdowns. But there's a huge but and an emphasis on B-U-T, but don't get tricked into fake deals. You know, we had fake resumes just a few months ago with fake jobs, fake resume, fake phone calls, fake text, fake all of this, right? Now we're talking about fake deals. And when I say that, what to watch out for, if you're heading to a closing JoAnn's, here's what you need to know. Take notes, okay? I'm not gonna go fast on this. I'm gonna go slow. Just like when we were babies, we learn how to crawl before we walk. We know how to say dada before we say mama. You get my drift, okay? So some prices will actually go up before they go down. We have already seen this week. During my stroll through JoAnn's, I've told you guys what the heck not to buy right now. Reason being is because if patterns are normally $1.99, why the heck are we going to pay 30% off? This is what I'm talking about when I say some prices will actually go up before they go down. All right. Next up, let's talk about patterns and notions. These two things might sell out the fastest. Why? Because everyone's like, okay, I need to get these patterns right now because they're on sale at 30% off. Right now, as of the recording of this video, they have dropped it down to $1.99 on all pattern brands, excluding Vogue. Vogue for $4.99. I did post that in my stories yesterday on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, you miss a lot. Make sure you take your butt on over there and follow me on Instagram. All right. So patterns and notions might sell out really, really fast. This is your time to go get your zipper, your buttons, your buttonholes, your bias tape, all of those notions that you need to complete your project. Now, I'm not going to say go and grab all the patterns underneath the sun. I'm not going to say that. But while they're $1.99, you may want to. All right. Another thing, the best discount could come late in the sales cycle. I said this last week, and normally that is going to be days before the actual closing. What that means is about 7 to 10 days before they actually announce a closing date. That's where you will see, I like to call it more like a garage sale, okay? And nothing wrong with garage sales because I love a good garage sale, okay? But what I mean by that is it's just you have to be good with scrapping up the bad things that's left, right? Some people call them bad, but I call it treasures. And what I mean by that, when I say that, is don't go in there thinking that you're going to find your Vogue patterns, your McCall patterns, your Simplicity patterns. What you might find is something that you wouldn't have never looked at, but it's there because nobody else wanted. And somebody's miss situation could be your great blessings, okay? Let's get on with that. All right, so let's shop smart and don't assume every single deal is a real bargain. Yes, I said that slow, and I'm going to say it slow one more time for the people in the back who have not been hearing me. And as I get to the end of this, let's shop smart and don't assume every single deal is a real bargain, because every single deal is not a real bargain. Y'all know that. I tell y'all the truth, okay? Tell the truth and shame the devil. And if your local JoAnn's is staying open, expect some changes. That's all I'm going to say there. As you can see, lots of changes have been happening in the last 2 weeks. Now, also, if your JoAnn's is staying open, not only expect changes, make sure you know that there will be fewer staff members, less stock in the store, and possibly more price hikes, okay, to keep the business running as it should be. Like when I say as it should be, the business should be running, but I don't agree with price gouging. If you don't know what that means hiking up the prices for your benefits, okay? I see that all the time during hurricane season here in Florida. So that's why I'm saying, make sure you armed with what you want to get when you go inside JoAnn and get what you want. But make sure you know those prices before you went in and after. Check online first. All right. Well, guess what, you guys? That's the end of this video of JoAnn's Fabric collapsing, the truth about their bankruptcy, and who is taking over. Well, that's my time, you guys. I thank you guys so much for watching. You know your girl is funny. But if you like content like this, make sure you check out these 2 videos that I have for you. One of the videos is talking about they did what? My very first information on the JoAnn's is filing bankruptcy. You could also check out my current pattern sales, my scroll, and all of that good stuff, and 11 things that you must buy right now before JoAnn's close. All right, well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, keep sewing.